What's up, Tudorinos? Welcome back to the Game Addicts podcast, a show where we talk about the modern retro video games that we play and collect. I am this podcast player one, Brando, and joining me here today is this podcast player two, Mike.
Ew.
I was gonna say, don't do that. Don't say nothing because I unmuted you and I'm like, wait, okay, because we had an issue with the video playing, and I'm like, wait, no, don't do that to me. All right, so we're good to go. This is episode 110. Moving right along. Today we got some cool stuff to talk about. We got some really bad stuff to talk about that's going on in the gaming world. We got some We got some good though. We got some really cool stuff to talk about this week on the Game Addicts podcast. And then of course, if this is your first time watching / and or listening to us, just want you to know you can check us out each and every week. Usually on Wednesdays, we are a day early on the live show. This week on Twitch at twitch.tv/GameAddictsPlay. And then, of course, on our Facebook page, just search the Game Addicts Podcast. You will find us. We are live on both each and every single, normally Wednesday. We will let you know a week before if we're going to switch it, like this week, because we got something else going on tomorrow. But that will not affect the normal release day of the audio podcast going up on podcast services around the world on Thursday morning. And then, of course, if you really want to see our lovely faces that bad, you will see us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Search Game Addicts Podcast. There you'll get pretty much everything that we do, gameplay, audio, this show, all the whole freaking gamut. But, Mike, tomorrow we're not going to be live because we're live today. We're going to be busy. We are going to go see Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Yes.
Oh, man, the hype is so real. I just read where the movie got nominated for a Japanese Academy Award.
Really?
I don't know how big a deal that is over there because I'm not Japanese. I don't know. But It's awesome that it's getting some recognition. It debuted here a month ago out at the Chinese Theater out in Hollywood, and it was really positively reviewed. Everybody seemed to love it. They said it's the best movie that Dragon Ball has done to date.
I'm happy.
Oh,
I'm happy.
I am
Tomorrow.
So this is the second time that you and I have seen a Dragon Ball movie in theaters. We went and saw. They re-aired the original Broly movie in September.
Yes.
And we went to the theater to see that. And then, of course, they also re-aired the Fusion movie bundled with the Bardock special in November. We didn't go see that. But the reason they did all that is because they're sort of weirdly smushing all three of those things together.
Yep.
And to get this brand new pile of Dragon Ball. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. You're a huge Dragon Ball fan. I'm excited to see this movie. I'm really more excited to see it in theater than I am to really see it because I know if I don't see it now, it's going to be a long time before it actually comes out on video to see it.
That's right.
I don't know how long it'll be, but hopefully it won't be that long because if it's that good, I'm going to buy it, right? But
yeah.
I mean,
well, as long as it's not astronomically high, because like the Sword Art movie that we got to watch here, we had to pay to watch it. To buy it is astronomical to get an English version here in the U.S.
No, they've released both Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F for about $20.
Right. I'm just hoping.
No. It won't be astronomically expensive. Dragon Ball is not that way. Sword Art's a little bit different. It's more of a niche show. I'm not saying that it's not popular. I'm just saying that it isn't Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is next level anime for the world.
Right.
It's definitely one of the top tier names when you talk about that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But just wanted to touch on that for a second because the hype is real. What we'll probably do is on next week's show. If we like it that much, we're probably going to talk about it for about a week. So it might be difficult for us to break it down and talk about it and what we think about it. But if you guys are interested, we'll definitely be talking about that at the end of next week's show. We're going to put it at the end. We're going to do our regular show, talk about whatever's going on in the gaming world. And then at a certain point, we'll say, all right, guys, if that's all you cared about, we love you. See you guys next week. We're going to start the Broly review, and we'll close the show with that. This week, though, we got to start off by catching up with the news because right at the tail end of last week, it was announced in a dual announcement that Bungie is leaving Activision.
Yes.
Now, Activision didn't outright own Bungie, but they were in a partnership for publishing rights for Bungie's games, especially Destiny. And not only is Bungie leaving, they get to keep the Destiny IP. They're taking it with them, and they're going to become an independent developer and publisher.
Right.
And this is huge news.
It is.
For me, number one, I was shocked. That if anybody, I think I've said it on the show, I believed that they were going to leave and sell the IP to Activision.
Yeah.
Instead, they're taking it with them. They're going to keep working on it and doing it. And apparently, when the heads of Bungie announced this to their employees, they were met with cheers and popping of bottles of champagne.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's Activision. I mean, they're I don't know what to say. They're with WoW. It bothers me because the system, you're making us pay $20 for something we used to pay $7 for. And you've progressed your system way up. Why are we paying $20 for old and $7 for new? I mean, the scale is being tipped. I understand you want the players to buy new stuff, but this is something this is when you were the biggest. And yeah, I get, maybe charging $10 a little bit more, but
20.
Yeah, and there's tiers. Actually, let me go ahead and bring that up here.
Yeah. You were telling me that there's tiers for different things that you can access, and I found that to be really weird for a subscription-based service. Because why charge a subscription for a game, and there's only for a game for you to be able to play with other people, for a game that you might not be able to access everything that your friend can. Like, I don't understand. Like, is it just certain classes, or are there things that you just can't do?
I'm going to try to. Let's see if I got to make sure I click on the right one. A lot of these are just threads where people complain. Yeah, that's pretty much what this one is. Anyways, continue. When I find it, I'll let you know.
All right. So, to continue on with the Activision stuff, so that really rocked the gaming world when that was announced. So much to the point that even Phil Spencer, head of Xbox division, chimed in saying that he's super excited to work with Bungie again. I think it would be stupid of Xbox not to offer to buy them.
Yeah.
I don't think Bungie will take it because they kind of want to be independent. They don't want to be under anyone's nose. But that doesn't mean that some sort of exclusivity deal can't be made.
Right.
And of course you would start that off with, hey, how would you like to come under our umbrella and be a part of the Microsoft team? And if they say no,
right.
I'm like, well, what can we do to encourage you to come here before you go to Sony? Because, Bungie's been working really close with Sony with the Destiny brand. And it's been that way for a couple of years, probably since, when did they launch Destiny? 2015? Or was it 14?
Yeah. I want to say yeah, but I'm not sure.
I remember we were on Nights when it came out. still on night shift. So I think it would be a great idea for them. I mean, Xbox is really big they're in a big acquisition phase anyway. So why not throw a number out there, see if they take it? Because you never know, maybe they will. And then Bungie is back in the home of Microsoft and working on their stuff. You know, of course, Microsoft's going to let them have keys. Dude, you know, go do what you want. We'll give you the funding. Go do it. And then, of course, maybe there's the hope that maybe they'll do another Halo one day. You know, Bungie coming back home. So I doubt that, but you never know, man. Stranger things have happened. Now, that wasn't the end. Of course, the Activision stock did a nosedive after this was announced. And it led people to be like very hopeful that Blizzard would do the same. Although I don't know, since Activision never outright owned Bungie, they just had an agreement, but they own Blizzard, if I'm not mistaken. It is like that company merged, like those two companies merged at some point, right?
Right.
So Blizzard just can't just walk away. However, there's another part to this that I just heard today. So Activision now has a new CFO. And they fired the old one because he was actively negotiating with Netflix while he was still under contract. So they, get out of here. So the new guy comes in, and he gets paid a $15 million bonus to be the CFO. Okay. Meanwhile, while this guy's getting paid, Blizzard gets told to cut down manning and up your production rate. Now, again, this is just what I've heard, so I don't know if it's actually true, but they pretty much want Blizzard to be a yearly game producer. They want a new game every single year.
Right.
Like, that is absolutely redonkulous. Of course, this is coming after the massive fallout. And Blizzard, so many people have left Blizzard, too.
Yes. So it looks like it's going to be the same price as normal. So that's about $13, $15. I saw a bunch. I keep getting stuff on YouTube and stuff about how it's going to cost $20 and that they're doing this and that. But you never can tell what's real. And I still can't find a Blizzard specific. This is from Blizzard. Here it is.
Okay, so here's an article from November 2nd of last year. Classic remaster of World of Warcraft Classic. And that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Will be free with World of Warcraft subscription.
With the original, right. But if you're only getting the vanilla, that's what I'm looking for, because I'm only going to get vanilla.
All right, so Blizzard announced at BlizzCon that it will include World of Warcraft Classic, the highly anticipated reboot. As part of the standard subscription, the news confirms that Blizzard won't sell Classic separately or charge an extra fee for playing it. So you have to get the regular one.
Yeah. So there you go.
So I mean,
that's what I keep seeing from everyone else. It's just.
I mean, either way, it's kind of like as a bonus. Then it's like this. So it's the same price if you just want to play the Classic, but if you want to play both, then you get both at one price. So that's not too bad, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's not bad, but it's basically it's been that price since I started playing, which is the day of release. It has been roughly $13, but
unless you're Jay Harden.
Well, that's different.
I know.
That happened later on, where they allowed.
Well, no, Jay, our good buddy Jay, ended up stealing subscription cards from Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
And that was before they had to be activated by the register. He worked at Walmart and took a buttload of them and it didn't pay a single dime for like 3 years.
Yeah. That's Jay for you.
Way to go, Jay.
Yeah, I paid the price, and I bought years at a time.
Years at a time.
Like a year at a time. So
I don't think there's any game that I would love enough to play it for that much, that often. Nope. Because
no, that's how long I played.
Oh, 7 years?
Yep.
Jesus, no, I can't do. I get bored. Like
I never did, and
I get so bored of doing the same thing. Like I can replay a game, and revisit it. That's nothing, you know. Like I was streaming FF8, go back to it, revisit it. Last time I played it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4. I could do that. But
that's the thing, though. It's different. It's not. You don't have a set game. Like this is ever evolving. So each month or each couple of months, something new comes out, something's up, and you have to grind it out. It's not like, oh, you could go do it and play by yourself. This game is not required to do that. So each experience you play in each area is completely different each time you play it. That's what intrigues me, personally.
But it's still the same game.
It's still the same game, but your experiences vary due to the fact of what you have.
It's and you know, it's like I just can't play the same game for that often, for for that long, let alone for 7 years. Gosh,
Oh yeah,
I'd be so sick.
Well, I mean, when you look at it, let's look at it like Skyrim. Okay, Skyrim's the easiest thing I can compare it to. Each time you play Skyrim, you can play it a different way. That's the same way with WoW. But you already know it. So for me, when I play it through, I'll play it through as one class. Well, you can't just have one class. There's so much to do. There's so much other stuff around you to like, so many professions, so much of this and that. You start getting to the point where you're like, I don't have enough time to do absolutely everything. So you have to pick and choose what you do on each. So you build another character, and this character's going to do this, and then you build another character. This character's going to do this, just to feed your one character. So you're not spending all day grinding for that one character. I'm telling you, it was very well created to force the person to become obsessed with completion of something that cannot be completed.
No kidding. Yeah, no. There's absolutely no way that I could ever do that. Like that is like
I love it.
It's just beyond me. Like I get so sick of games, even games that I love, even games that I absolutely love, and that I go back to over and over. You know, I'm good to play it for like for that playthrough, but then I shelve it for a couple of years at least.
I've never. This is the game that pretty much got me out of console gaming for 7 years. I had no idea what was going on, other than, oh, there's a new Metroid game. I gotta go buy the system to play it. I would literally buy a system to play a game, and then I would play that game, and then it would sit there after I was done with it, and I go back to WoW. And basically, I didn't play the PS2 hardly at all.
No. Shame. That's a big shame.
But
a lot of great games on that system.
Xbox 360 came out, and I played a little bit of it, a couple of games that I had, and then it was, I'm done. I don't care about this. I'd rather play WoW. And then I literally stopped buying stuff. I had them. I would buy a game if I liked it, like 1 or 2 games a year, maybe. But this was my animal. And right now it's free for me. So it's even worse. But,
how much would you enjoy Blizzard more if they were away from Activision?
Well, I think that I don't know if I'd like them a lot more, because what they're doing now is what every WoW person has wanted. I think that the Diablo push, that was from Activision to say, go mobile with it all. And they were like, okay. And the fans were like, no. We want it on our systems. We want it now.
Again, you and me have talked and said that, if they would have teased, and which they have done, sort of, said that there's a new, Diablo in development.
But now, not then.
Well, right. They came back later and said it. But, like, if they would have said, hey, guys, we're definitely working on a new Diablo. Until then, check out this great new different thing that we're trying to do on mobile. So that way, it wasn't treated like this is the next Diablo.
And that's how they treated it.
Yeah, like and then like, wait a minute, so this isn't coming to any other platform? No, because this is a mobile-centric game. you know, and they would not say there's a Diablo experience coming to PC later, you know, or coming to consoles later. This is, you know, eventually they want to merge it all and have it all be interconnected, and I get that because they want to target a market that plays on their phone. But
a lot of people play on their phone now, so I understand that market. But here's the thing: yes, you can make a game like that, and it's fine. But your core gamers, that's your bread and butter. I mean, you think about the Diablo 3 sales for consoles. Obviously, it's not on phones, so you only got consoles and PCs. They're very high. It's very well selling, just like Diablo 2. Diablo 2 sold very well. You can't take that away. You have to still be giving your people those games because those are the guys that are really pushing it and saying, hey, check this game out. It's awesome. I love Diablo. Blah, blah, blah. They're going to be like, you know what? Blizzard screwed me over, so well, I'm done. And they'll find, because there's other games like Diablo. There's clones all over the place.
yeah.
So
Well, and then that Immortal game is like another game that they're partnered with, EaseNet. It looks and feels just like a Diablo skin over one of those games. So
yep. It's one of those pickled beasts. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but you have to. The fact that the way that it was handled at the conference is really the problem because nobody really got until the very end where they're like, what, you guys don't have phones? What's the problem?
Yeah, it was
You
pretty bad.
can't do that. That's bad.
That was
because
really poor handled.
You're talking about a lot of people, like the PC community, and now that I'm back into it and really diving back into it, they're very hardcore. This is that. They're all about specs, technicality. They love it's an obsession. You can't. Now they love their games on this, and they like to be able to do specific stuff on it. And you're saying, oh well, we don't care about you anymore because it's always been a PC game.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo's always been PC. It's just like, you're gonna take that away, and then they weren't even nice about it. They were just like, what, you don't have a phone? I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, buddy. Like, and then the retaliation was, yeah, no, you don't do that.
Gamers they don't forget.
No.
And gamers today, I hate to use the term, they're pretty fickle.
Yes.
And if you rub them wrong, it's very difficult to win them back.
What I would like to see happen with Activision is I would like to see Blizzard leave. But I'd like to see Blizzard give them Overwatch. Because Blizzard for a long time was just Diablo and the Warcraft series. And they made an awesome first-person shooter. And it's obviously, blown up. It's still a huge tournament game. Blizzard, just give it to them. Say, hey, take it. This is really what you want anyways. Take it.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's money that Blizzard's leaving on the table.
But that's fine because they still have their subscription with WoW that is never going to go away. And then Diablo, as long as they keep up on Diablo and don't let everybody down, they were always doing good. They've never really done bad ever.
No.
World of Warcraft pretty much exploded overnight with it, and it just became from, there's a couple thousand people to, we've got 7 billion active accounts, or 7 million active accounts in a couple of months.
Well, and the thing is that for the longest time, it was the biggest multiplayer game until Fortnite got big.
Right, and technically World of Warcraft is still the largest because at one time it was subscription. When it was a certain point, it had 7 billion active accounts, and you're talking about. Let's say those people are paying the $11 because they pay for a year. That's insane to think that every month there's 7 billion active accounts paying $11. They're not. They've never been hurting for money. You can't tell me that they've blown all that money.
Okay, as of the end of 2017, they're still number one. Do you want to take a guess as to what the next two are? What is number two?
On multiplayer?
On the This is the healthiest live MMORPGs.
Final Fantasy 15.
14.
14, yes, sorry.
Yep,
14.
yep, that is number 2.
That's number 2.
Number 3.
Number 3 is going to be a hard one. I would say RuneScape.
Actually, that's number 4. Number 3 is
Okay.
Elder Scrolls Online.
That was my other one, is ESO.
I just saw that they're going to release a new expansion for that for Elsewhere.
For the land elsewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like how they did Morrowind.
For elsewhere. Elsewhere. I was like, for elsewhere where? Where's elsewhere? Are you talking about the place in Morrowind?
Yeah.
you gotta be specific here.
Well, I mean, because they did the Morrowind, and now they're doing Elsewhere. I think I'm not a big fan of it at all, but I think it's kind of cool that they're just keep.
The problem with that game is it doesn't feel right. I played it for a while, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it fits into the other Elder Scrolls game. The play style is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I want it to be that because it has such a rich lore. I mean, you've brought in basically everything that's ever been into one place. And it's like, you want to play it so bad because you want to know the story because it has all the stories and how they intertwine. And it has other stuff that you can't get unless you go there. But it doesn't play like an Oblivion or Skyrim or Morrowind. It's like you get frustrated.
So I've got 2 friends on my PlayStation friends list.
Yeah.
Play this game endlessly. I very rarely see them play any other game.
I believe it.
And it's like every time I look and they're online, those 2 guys are playing together. They're playing ESO. And I'm just like, man, that has been years now going. Ever since it came out for PlayStation 4, both of those guys have been playing it. And I'm just like, I can't. Again, it's that thing where like I get so bored of certain styles. I love RPGs, but after I've played one for 60 hours, I'm ready to do something different, you know?
And that's the thing with MMOs is it's geared towards keeping you around. So there's always something to do, but there's always story that you haven't heard.
I know, but I'm just saying, just in general, like I get bored of playing that style. I actively will like. I go through funks in gaming. I go through funks when I
can't get bored with it. So it's hard for me to sit and
get bored with it, and I need to shift styles every once in a while. Like I just played probably well over 80 hours of Red Dead Redemption 2. By the end of it, there's still stuff I haven't done and story I haven't done in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's mostly side stuff.
Right.
You know, but I'm sick of it.
I got to move this down.
I still love the game, and that doesn't mean that I won't play the game again in the future. I'm just sick of that stuff. That's why I went to Detroit. That is like completely different. 100%. I'm following the story. That's it.
For me, I will say this. I'll say Call of Duty. I played a lot of Call of Duty, and like after I stopped playing WoW, I started playing Call of Duty. And then I'm like, oh, I'm sick of this. It's the same thing over and over again. But yet I played WoW for 7 years. That literally is the same thing over and over again. For some reason, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I don't know if it's the style that grasps me or what, but there's certain things that once I'm hooked on it, it's like, okay, I'm good right here for a long time. And as long as the player base is still good people, and you still have fun. Like I have a lot of fun just doing stupid stuff with people on it. Like you've done this a million times, so let's do it this way. So it's really hard, or whatever, or doing something that you can't do that, and then you do it. I like being that person that takes something this is the way that we've written it, but you can do this if you know what you're doing, and it's like left and right. It's supposed to be this, but you're doing this. I don't know. I like it. Certain things I don't.
I'm not saying that like people can't like it. I'm just saying that I can't do it. There's no way that I can play a game that long, let alone for 7 years straight, or even to the point of like, as I said, I just get so tired of styles. Like, for example, I don't know what game it was. I was playing some sort of open world game, okay, and then I got Shadow of Mordor, and I wanted to play it so bad, but I just finished playing a game very similar to it. So I started it, and I've never played more than 10 minutes of it.
Well, here's a question for you. Then how are you doing with open world games? Because a lot of the new RPG open world games are going to be very similar.
I know. Well, and that's just it. I got to shift around. I've got to do other stuff.
Right.
Like I'm playing Detroit, kind of. I got so far in it, and then my wife is kind of interested to want to try it, and we played it, and we haven't gone back to it, and I want to, but I don't want to play. If I want to play it with her, I want to play it with her. I don't want to go any further than where I'm at.
Right.
I could easily play it when she's not here and probably get through with it pretty quickly.
Right.
Because those games aren't terribly long. But the fact that she has shown some interest, I went ahead and downloaded the other, was it Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls? And
right.
Those were free on PS Plus a while back, so I went ahead and downloaded those to see if she had any interest in playing those, and that could be something that we do together. And just, I've already played those games, so it's no big if we only play it like once every 2 weeks or whatever. So then like the next game that we're getting is Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Yes.
And so that game is completely different in style. It's an action game, but it's not an open world game like Red Dead, and it feels completely different to me.
And I agree with that. And
then the next game that I'll play after Resident Evil 2, I'm getting Kingdom Hearts the same day. So that's going to be a completely different game, than what I've just played. I'm not saying that I can't go from style to style. Like I can play like Batman Arkham Knight and then go to Metal Gear. Both are kind of big open games, but they're two different styles of open games. And
okay.
It's like but even then, if I play too many open games in a row, I get tired of the concept, and I'm like, I got to do something else. I got to just sink into an RPG, sit down, and sometimes that is to a point where I want an old school RPG that I have to read, like an old Final Fantasy to just close me off. It's so
right.
I get so bored, and I go through periods of time where I don't play anything for weeks. Simply because I don't know what I'm in the mood for.
Or we don't have time.
Or we don't have time. But it's also like mood, because then it's like I'm not in the mood for RPGs. I'm not in the mood for open. I'm not in the mood for action. What the heck am I in the mood for? So
right.
Then I go through like cycles where I just put a game in and I play it for a night. And that's where having a gaming collection comes in handy, because I've got so many games in the collection that I've only played so much of. Or I might revisit a classic for a night and go and play Crash Bandicoot, or go and play like an old Mario game, or pop in Legend of Zelda, one of those. And even if I only play it for a couple hours, it's something to pass the time.
Right.
But back to Resident Evil 2. We are going to transition.
Yes.
Because this past week, the one-shot demo came out. Both you and I have played it. I let you know all about it when I got done with it. And what did you think?
So wow. That's basically what I have to say is wow.
So this is the demo that got released for E3, for
right.
after they did the teaser trailer and you saw gameplay. This was that trailer, or that gameplay. Essentially, it was the same thing that they let those guys play, but now we get to play it. Only for one shot for 30 minutes. If you go over that, then you're done. You can't access it again unless you cheat it on PC. I wouldn't recommend it. You might get banned. But
well, I'm gonna play it on PC since I've already.
I could download it on the Xbox and PC and do that myself as well. But apparently, the demo has been played over 1 million times. But apparently the actual completion rate isn't nearly as high.
That's okay, because a lot of people do what I did. They tested things out. I watched a lot of people do video on it before while I was letting it download. I watched the videos of people doing it, and a lot of people were just going in and getting hit by a zombie, seeing what it looked like, see if there was any difference each time you got hit, and then they would get hit by two zombies, and it showed a completely different way to get hit. So then they would like turn their character around and let them get bit from the back, just to kind of look at everything that's going to happen. I know for me, I didn't complete it, but I went through every room, every door, everything that I could. I went through everything. I checked to make sure if I touch it. I also did a lot of sneaking to see if I could actually one-shot zombies, which you can't unless they give you. Maybe I can with a shotgun now. I haven't tried it with a shotgun, but yeah, I tried as much as I could, and I got to the library, which is literally right at the end.
Yeah.
So
completion rate was 28%. So maybe, and the article says maybe people died, or maybe people were goofing off like Mike. And
Mike wasn't goofing off. Mike was looking at everything. Mike was looking at lighting changes. Okay, that's how in depth he was. Like,
oh,
hey,
dude.
look at this. Look at how the light works in here. Oh, that's so cool. Like, I was really doing every inch and every detail I could check out in that 30 minutes by still progressing. And for what it is, I only have one complaint, and that is a complaint that is trivial. And when I really think about it, I don't want to be able to do it because I want it to be more difficult. But you cannot one-shot zombies.
No, they're tough to kill.
You cannot sneak up on a zombie and one-shot them.
Can't stealth kill.
You cannot stealth kill. I tried to stealth kill the security guard that's beating on the vending machine. He just standing there beating on the vending machine, and I stopped, and he hadn't come over to me yet. So I was like, "All right, let's see if you can be stealthy." So I'm kind of like I moved around him. I went all the way to the other end of the hallway and came all the way back, and I was like, "Okay, so you can go into a room quietly, open things, look through stuff, and get out without affecting any of the zombie activity, as long as you don't touch one of them."
So, I realized just how bad of a shot I am by being incapable.
I missed one shot to the head the entire time, and Joanna was like, "Jesus,
dude!" It was like swaying towards me, and I'm like, I'm aiming like right at it, and I'm not. I'm just not hitting it. I do like how you can move and aim.
I love that.
You know, I like that. I love that when you start off, the ambiance of the main hall kind of sounds like the original.
Yes.
I like the rearrange. I like the stuff's moved around. It's not the exact same, but it's just similar enough to give you the feels.
Yep.
I like how it's 3 floors now. Like a full-fledged 3 floors, unlike the original one, which is mainly 2. And I like how you can get to the second floor from the main hall. And they kind of rearranged it to where it looks more like a functionable police station, less than a big, great, open, endless hall, which is like, why?
Right.
You know, but I mean, and then the mood, and then the lighting, it was great.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. There's a couple times where I'd move around and you'd stop, you'd hear something and you stop and you're like, "What is that?" So to add more suspense, you can hear the zombies in the other rooms. Anything in any adjacent room in the one you're in, you can hear them. So when I moved, so you know the hallway that's got the banging zombie on the window that you can go up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
You can go up the stairs to the second floor and go into that bathroom. You can still hear him banging on the glass.
Yeah. So that dude went through the glass for me.
I boarded him up before he came through.
Yeah. He came through the glass. I didn't have the board yet. And I shot him and killed him. And there was another zombie upstairs. And he was coming towards me. So I was trying to line up a good shot. And then he ended up just falling over the railing. and collapsed, like falling all the way to the floor and died. So I went, good on you. All right.
That works. That's less
Yeah,
bullets you got to waste.
exactly. Now, I was kind of hoping that we could see the stars room. We didn't get to see that. I wonder where the stars room is.
Yeah.
Because obviously this is a Resident Evil universe and stars.
Yes. I did get the shotgun.
I did not get the shotgun. I only had. I did get the other, like the little pouch to give you some extra slots, but I did not get the shotgun. I got some shells, but I missed the. I got the card for the weapon locker, but I didn't actually go to the weapon locker itself. What I did like is that there were lockers that had combinations on them. That like you don't know. And I don't know if you got to sit there and just try and figure it out, or if you can actually get those from somewhere.
Well, I'm thinking that you could get if they play it out the way that I think they are playing it out. It looks like they're bringing back the RE2s. You're revisiting rooms multiple times.
Yeah, of course.
And I wonder if they're going to do a lot of hidden rooms because
now, did you get the second medallion?
Huh?
Did you get the second medallion?
I don't remember.
Okay, so like you go and you help the original officer who ends up getting like eaten in half, basically.
Yeah.
And he discovers that there's a way out underneath this big statue in the main hall that leads to the parking lot, and you have to get these 3 medallions, and he's kind of figured out the puzzle, right? Because each of these places that have the medallions have these little spinners, and you got to line up the symbols to get the medallion. So the first medallion is on the second floor right above that statue. That's the lion medallion.
Oh, then I did not get that at all. I never even went up there.
That one is right there. I actually messed around with that one for a while because, like, it's funny how, like, it's like one of those puzzles that you're sitting there going, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden you go, I'm an idiot. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, because then there's, like, certain patterns for you to make for each one. Like, you've got to match up certain patterns for the 3, not try to like get one from each one, or because they'll try and trick you. Because there's like a lady playing a harp, so you got to get the lady, the harp, and something else. There's a one for like a lion, you got to get that and something else, you know. So I did get both medallions. I like how when you give when Leon gives Marvin the book, and Marvin touches it, the blood on his hand transfers to. That was a good touch.
I liked that. I saw that, and I told her, I said, "Did you see that? Like it was clean, and now it's got blood stains on it." And his hair, Leon's hair, moving in the cinematic. It's small details like that you can tell that they really took the time to make the game look and feel right. And it's just, there is no negative other than me wanting an easier way to kill these things, because you can easily, quickly get overwhelmed.
Well, and that's what I love about it, is that they are making it difficult to where even a headshot doesn't put these things down easily.
Yes.
So therefore, it's like, is it even worth it to try and get more headshots? Or is it worth it to try and like get a chest shot and then a headshot? Or, you know, is there a combination that'll work? Because I actually got a headshot or 2 and then did a chest shot, and then the dude fell down. After 3 shots, he fell down and died.
I've also noticed that there's a couple of good tactics. So I did only headshots, and it's not very effective. Some zombies is 2 shots. Some zombies is 6. Some zombies it's none, because you can't kill them like that. I had the one I shot 5 times in the head, and then he came through the door anyways. I don't know how, but he did.
Dude. Okay, so I had one bust through the window that was beaten on like in the hallway.
Yeah.
And then I just like, instead of turning around and shooting, I just kept going and went through the door. That's where that was the police briefing room. So you could hear him outside moaning and shuffling. And then I was in there reading a few things, and I'm like, all right, so I got to go and climb over here to get through this window. He started banging on the door.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's just so cool.
And they'll eventually open the door. I tested that out as well. I went by and dropped one, and I only dropped it the first time. The thing that I've noticed in this, the theme of this is when they're down, you take that extra shot. You make sure that I make sure their head explodes now. But in this one, I let him stay down, and I knew one shot that wasn't going to be it. And I went in there and I cleared the room, and I stood there for a minute, kind of looking around, checking the and then you hear the boom, boom, boom. So I ran to the door. I'm like, okay, how's this going to work? He bashed the door open and knocked me down.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, all right, thank you. And then I also tested, I didn't know if this was going to work, but I wanted to test it anyway. So some of the doors you can not just open, but you can kind of creak them and take your flashlight and you can kind of shine around in there. And that made me very happy that you can, if you want to do this very quietly, very stealthily, you can, or you can go in there. I personally wouldn't go in there guns blazing, because once the liquors come out, you're pretty much toast.
And as we saw in other videos, you want to be really quiet around them.
Yes.
Anyways, but there's some other news that kind of came out about this. Did you get to see the trailer at the end?
Yes, the little block man running.
Tofu. So
yes,
they have announced bonus modes, of course, Hunk, right?
Yeah.
And so we are going to be able to get the fourth survivor, where we get to play as Hunk and try to get him back to his chopper. But then we're also going to get Tofu, the Tofu survivor, where you get to play as a block of tofu, just like the original game. That's awesome that they added those in there.
And then you get to see the gator.
Exactly. Yeah.
The freaking gator of the sewers.
Now, there was a conjecture that that Resident Evil 2, the original game, that this game may actually sell more than that. As of March 31st of last year, the original Resident Evil 2 has sold 6.11 million copies.
6.2? Oh, they'll clear that.
And around launch, the figure was around 5 million, so it sold an extra 1 million over the course of 20 years. Whether that is like the GameCube re-release, the Dreamcast re-release, the PS1 Classic re-release.
I think that they will clear 10 million quickly.
I feel like the remake is definitely going to do that. Now, at the time, the Resident Evil 2 was a record breaker with only a $5 million advertising campaign. The game raced to the fastest-selling video game in North America at the time. On the weekend of its release, it grossed $19 million, which at the time was better than all but one Hollywood movie and broke previous sales records set by Final Fantasy VII and Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be great. And what's nice is that when I went and downloaded the demo, it had 4,000 people had started, and it was still at 5 stars.
So it reached the 5 million on the PS1. It was only on one console for a long time, for a couple of years. And so to think about that, I mean, that's a monster seller back then, you know.
Yes.
I mean, this is a big game. And now, today, it's coming out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One all at the same time. So you're going to be getting, 80 million, almost 90 million consoles owners for PS4 have the ability to buy it. You're not going to get that many. But then you have 40 million Xbox players, however many million PCs gamers are going to play it. You're going to end up, I think, 10 million is probably a good number. I think it'll double the sales at least.
My thought is 5 million on the PS4.
Probably.
Because a lot of them people that own PS4s, they are PlayStation. I mean, they have been PlayStation since 1.
Yeah.
And 2, I missed out on this, but 2 was like a phenomenon. I mean, almost everybody had a PS2.
Somehow the PS2 plays Resident Evil 4. And that was a GameCube exclusive. And then they released on the PS2. It doesn't run as smoothly as the GameCube. It doesn't look
Right.
as pretty, but it works and it runs. And it runs well enough.
That system was, I mean, a testament to PlayStation right there. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
they made PlayStation 1 just in spite of Nintendo, because then they were supposed to do a console together with Nintendo, and Nintendo pulled out at the last minute, and Sony's like, okay, we spent all these millions of dollars, we're just going to go ahead and release it, screw you. And it's, whoa,
I'm sorry, but so Resident Evil 2 on the PC comes with more graphical flexibility than most games. And given that the game is a remake of 1998 PlayStation game, that on the slowest setting possible, the PC version looks straight up like a PS1 game.
what?
So, as DSO Gaming notes, while Resident Evil 2 Remake has been modernized with modern graphics, the ability to run at 60 frames per second and 4K on max settings, courtesy of NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, it can be made to look more blotchy original if you want it to. If you don't like your Resident Evil 2 looking like a crisp modern game, then do the following. Disable modern day effects, such as ambient occlusion. I probably said that all wrong. Depth of field, volumetric lighting. Set all settings to low. Lower the resolution to 640 by 480. Lower resolution scaling to 50%, and then upscale the image to 1920 by 1440. The image that you get. Whoa! I'm gonna have to send these to you.
Send it to me.
Because these are absolutely redonkulous. I wish that I had done prep and actually had these ready to show on the show.
What? So yeah, that definitely looks like.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
Wow, that looks almost exactly like it would back then. That's cool. That's really cool that they give them that option.
That's insane. But I'm really looking forward to the game, especially now that I played the demo.
I give it a solid. I seriously, personally, it's a 10 out of 10 demo for me.
Well,
And
yeah,
if this is just a taste of what the game is going to be, just what you've shown me already is what I want it to be. And if you're going to go above and beyond that level,
right,
there's no reason it shouldn't get a 10 in my book. Now, depending on how they play it all out, obviously we'll give a real rating after we beat the whole game.
Right,
but
of course.
I think this game is going to be a contender for the game of the year.
Oh, I think no doubt that when they go to look at game of the year, that this game is going to be in the conversation. Like, no doubt. Absolutely. Well, buddy, I don't know if we really have anything else to really talk about. Those are the only two big things that I had this week. The whole Activision crap. Oh, I mean, okay, so there's one thing for Bethesda. Bethesda keeps messing things up.
Oh yeah.
So let's finish the show with the sandwich of bad, good, and then bad. So, Bethesda, in their games, in like Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout, they have a developer room where they can access and they can go in and test out all the items. You know, let's try this out, let's do this, make sure it works. The only issue, okay, so like when you play the game in a single player, you know, a lot of people find out how to get into those rooms. They can mod themselves in there. You know, developer rooms are not anything new. I remember like using a Game Shark to get myself into the FF7 developer room.
Right.
And it's awesome because you can start the game at like level 99 and you have all this crap. You have all master materia. It's pretty freaking cool. But
the one on Skyrim is kind of difficult to get to glitch yourself into. I watched me and my buddy when it first came out. We did it at his house, and it took forever, but we got it.
So people have figured out how to get into the developer room for Fallout 76, which is an online game. The developer room is live on the server. And people figured out how to get in and get every single item in the game, including items that aren't available to the public and items that were meant for the online marketplace. Now, Bethesda has reacted. They have banned everybody who they found out who have been in there, because they could tell if you've been in there. However, that doesn't stop the items that were traded to other people that are out in the wild. They haven't done anything about that yet. More so, some of the people who have been banned got emails saying that if you tell us how you got in there, we will unban you.
Right.
They don't know how they got in there.
And the thing is that it's, I mean, obviously a lot of people are figuring it out because it's not just a handful of people, it's quite a bit.
Now, also, people are using item and weapon duplication glitches and selling them on eBay for $10 to $20 a pop.
Wow.
And they are doing nothing about it. So now there's an external marketplace that people are making money off of exploiting an online game.
Because it's glitchy as.
When I was telling a coworker of ours about this today, Kevin, he was like, this is like the biggest misstep they've ever done. They need to wipe the server and start over.
Yep.
Which sucks because then think about the people who played the game legitimately.
Right, like myself.
Exactly. And you worked hard to get your stuff, and if you ever want to go back and play that again, all your stuff's going to be gone.
Right. Ooh.
Hey, Patfoot.
I shocked him.
Boof.
Yeah. The meat. The dog meat. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, he actually responds to dog meat now. Where dog meat? Me? Of course, now you're not even going to do anything.
No. He's going to look at you like,
Now he comes. Hey, what are you doing, Dad? Hi. What are you doing?
Hey, when's you coming back over?
Oh, shit.
It's
But yeah.
The whole Fallout thing, the Fallout 76, it's got to be their biggest misstep of their entire history at this point for Bethesda. And I feel bad for the developers that are working there, because then I feel like those guys that are working on the next big Bethesda game, whichever one it's going to be that comes out first, which we do not know which one that is. We have an assumption it's going to be Starfield, but that could completely change depending on the rumors we heard about the start and stop of that game.
So with the Starfield thing, it was just like Starfield. Can it be like Skyrim, but a planet? You're crashing in, and there's no space, but it's Starfield. It's okay, all right. So it's gonna be a Bethesda game set in a different setting. Cool. Let's see what it's gonna be, and then he's gone. Where'd it go? Nobody knows what's happening.
The next core Bethesda game that comes out is going to be super ridiculed. It's going to be under a microscope.
Yep.
Anything that because anything they do now, even if it's like a gesture of trying to make it right, people just shit on it.
Yep.
Because they're trying to make things right with the whole bag thing, and then all the people who put their information in got their data leaked.
Yep.
They can't do anything right. This is very frustrating. I'm so glad I didn't buy the game. Because I liked what I played at your house. It was fun. It was fun to play with you.
Yep.
But me having a good time for a few hours, because your wife took it away.
Yes.
But does not.
You got up. Fair, you got up in a live game.
Yeah, you're right. But it didn't justify a $60 purchase, which of course it no longer is.
Oh no!
Within a week it was $40, and then it's been as low as $20. I mean, $20 may be worth. Hey, let's go around there and have some fun. It's $20.
Supposedly, there is a patch coming to fix a lot of stuff. So let me pull this up.
Well, cross your fingers.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't give up on the game and they try to make it closer to what they wanted it to be. Just like, as we've said on the show, that those I can't remember the name of the developer, but the guys that did No Man's Sky, they didn't give up and they kept going, and the game is more closer to what they wanted it to be. But to the same token, not as many people care, and I feel like they were more forgiving with those guys because nobody really heard of those guys before. They're a smaller development crew. This is Bethesda Game Studios. And
okay.
people are just they're like, look, we've been accepting of your quality for years. It hasn't been up to what we think is snuff, but you still make good games, and then you give us this.
So here's what the new patch, which came out the 10th, so it's already out. It made the power armor light has been made brighter. The performance, several improvements have been made to in-game performance. No specifications, just several. Stability. The Fallout 76 game client and servers have received additional stability improvements. Balance. Charging barrels mod increases the damage of the Gatling gun. Glowing ones will no longer grant erosion large amounts of XP. And then we're getting like large boss experience rewards. Those glowing ones, some of them were giving like huge amounts of experience. Easily exploitable. Some other small things I'm trying to read here now from Teams with the Vault. So now, something that I had to complain about is you can form a team. So you couldn't form a team without loading into a server. I couldn't just log in and say, hey, Brando, I'm going to invite you in, and then we start out. I would have to join a game. She would have to join a game. She would have to join my game, or I have to join her game to get together. So now they've made it to where you can do that outside, which is good. PvP, here's a big one. Open player-owned locked containers will now be considered a PvP action as expected. So basically, if you open my box and you're not supposed to, I can kill you without the prompt.
So I also read that they're working on a non-prompt PvP server.
Yes.
Where it's more survival based, and
right.
that might bring some people in.
That's the way it was. I like the no griefing thing. Mm-hmm. I like it to a degree, but I think that it should be like survival. You go in, it's survival. You're survival of the fittest. You're going through, and then all of a sudden, if I start grieving you, or I just continuously kill you over and over and over again, it allows me to not do it anymore because that's very annoying. Grieving is horrible. It's very annoying. But
I hope that they take the time, they don't give up, and then they fix the game.
They've got a lot of other fixes on here, but I mean a lot, and I am not going through.
Absolutely no, we didn't do
like maybe I'll go to here we go. PvP. Team up players no longer unfairly block an attacked player when that player attempts to overtake a workshop. Whatever. Blocking a player now also mutes their proximity chat. So when you block the person on the server, it would block them from seeing you and you from seeing them on the map. But if you got close to me, I could still hear you talking. So they fixed that. They had trade issues where you could actually view the entire player's inventory when you trade. I had that happen to me a lot. When you no longer let trades occur with the request of a player. So basically, a player could run up to you, request a trade, and view everything you have in your inventory, and then pull out and kill you because they know that they can win.
What to do, man? What to do? I hope they fix it. I hope they make the game better. But I got nothing else to really talk about this week. RE2's next week. It won't be before our next show, but it will be the one after that. I do plan on hopefully trying to stream the whole thing. The Magic Coin has decided I am playing as Claire, and you're playing as Leon for your first playthrough. You have said you're going to try and stream your Leon playthrough as well.
I'm a little jelly.
That I got Claire?
Because you got Mr. X.
Well, again, we don't know if Mr. X is going to make an appearance in both or not.
I know.
Because of how they're weaving the stories in, and they're not necessarily scenario A and scenario B. Or Leon A and B, or Claire A and B. It's just Leon and Claire. So it's going to be interesting to see how they divvy up the time.
I wonder if when you play again, so let's say you do your Leon playthrough
Mm-hmm.
or your Claire playthrough, and then you turn around and do your Leon playthrough, your choices in that affect hers.
Just like the original game,
Yeah.
where you because if you put the disc in and didn't have any other save data, it would automatically do the A scenario for both. But if you
Yes.
completed a scenario, you could go to scenario B where you played the other playthrough, and some of the things that you did, you got some different puzzles, and then you also got like you could take certain items and leave the other item for the other person.
Right.
And then there was even that one room that you needed both people to get into, so you needed to actually register your handprint as Leon. Say if you're doing Leon A, go and put in your handprint, and then you can't get in there until you go back through as Claire, get all the way to that point, register with her, go back there, have her put her handprint in, and then she can actually get inside the room.
Right.
That was really cool. It just
I think it's going to have a really high replayability, at least a second replay.
mm-hmm.
And
I've heard they're doing New Game Plus.
you know, yeah, I will try it out.
I think it'd be fun if you were able to get like, some old school gaming cheats. Get some infinite ammo, get some different guns, get a rocket launcher, just roll around with a rocket launcher, just enjoy the game. I mean,
It better have the Colt 45 in here.
oh yeah, I mean, they already said they're having the Magnum, so like you can make
Yeah,
Magnum ammo.
it is. That's the gun, the one shot gun.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what all the pre-order bonuses are. Of course, we talked about last week about there being a possible steelbook. Of course, we don't know if they're, if that's everywhere or just at Best Buy, because Best Buy really has.
I mean, if it's only at Best Buy, I might just cancel mine and go to Best Buy so I can get a steelbook because I have like a hard on for steelbooks.
Right.
As I look over there, like tenths of my books are steelbooks.
So I'm gonna look up and remember what I'm getting because I did get the deluxe version, and I just want to remember exactly what all I'm getting. Because I know I'm getting some outfits.
The original soundtrack.
And I'm getting the original soundtrack thing, yeah. So the deluxe edition, which I'm getting, gives me the noir Leon outfit. He's wearing like a white shirt with a vest and tie. Kind of looks like a gangster.
Right.
You're getting a noir suit for Claire, which has a white shirt with a black tie and then like a fedora, kind of like a Michael Jackson look.
Right.
You're getting the Arklay Sheriff Leon. He mentions that he was in the mountains before he came here. So there's that. There's the Albert Model Samurai Edge handgun. So is that Wesker's gun?
Ooh, yeah.
You get the military Claire outfit. She's wearing like a military vest and what looks like to be a bandana. And here's the coolest one of them all for the extra outfits. The Elza Walker Claire outfit. So I don't know how much you've ever looked into Resident Evil 1.5, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, Resident Evil 1.5 was the original Resident Evil 2. And it was so far in development that they had a lot of the game done. In fact, you can download this online and play some of it. But it's incomplete. Right. It's completely incomplete. But Claire wasn't even in the game. Her name was Elza Walker. It was somebody completely different, and she was wearing like a motorbike, like a crotch rocket type outfit, and because she ends up crashing her bike into the police station, I guess, if I remember correctly. But she was a completely different character. Leon was in the game. Some of the other characters were in the game, Marvin and the gun shop owner, but they played some different roles, But when they decided that it wasn't good enough, that it wasn't good enough to be the sequel to the original Resident Evil, they completely wiped it, went back to the drawing board, and made the Resident Evil 2 that we know and love. So as a good callback to that original game, we're getting the outfit of the original Resident Evil 2 character for Elza Walker. I think that's just such a cool nod to put that in there.
Right.
And then, of course, we get the retro soundtrack swap, which for my stream, I'll probably have that on. I mean, let's be honest. Go back into those safe rooms where you have the typewriters, you have the old school music playing. So for the collector's edition, which was $200, by the way, right, and is a GameStop exclusive, you get all the content from the deluxe version, plus a Resident Evil 2 digital soundtrack, plus a Raccoon Police Station renovation blueprint, because of course they renovated it from a museum.
Right.
A 12-inch Leon Kennedy RPD statue, a Resident Evil Collector's art book, and an RPD item box package. So everything will fit into the item box.
Huh.
It's pretty cool. Like, to be honest, like I don't have room for collector's editions anymore. I just don't. But it's kind of cool. And I think if you're a big fan of RE2, it was definitely worth it to pick that up. And it still is. And I'm pretty sure it's still available for you to pick up for $200. But, of course, go check out that demo. If you haven't played it yet, it's on your PS4, it's on your Xbox One, it's on your PC. You get 30 minutes to go through the game. I got it done in 23. I didn't go into every room like Mike did. I didn't go into every bathroom or anything like that. I was going through and then just played my way. Mike played his way. But it was just so awesome to feel it.
Huh. So, sorry, Amazon, you know how Amazon is a fickle beast. They've been sending me, hey, look, you might be interested in this.
Mm-hmm. I get
They
those.
just put the Jump Force Collector's Edition. Jump Force
yeah,
comes out
that
February 15th, if you know what that is. Essentially it's a Shonen Jumps, all of their manga that they've ever done into a fighting game.
Right, and it mix matches characters and all
It
that
mix matches all your characters, so you could be Naruto versus Goku and stuff like that. And it pulled it up. Do you guess how much the collector's edition is? Just guess.
$150.
No.
More? $200? $250. $500?
No. That's way too high.
Okay. $300.
$260.
$260?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Especially for a series that hasn't really I mean, they did one other fighting game as a Shonen Jump thing, but
yeah, it's Bandai Namco, but I mean, it's Jump Force Shonen Jump.
This is like a new entry, like a new IP for them. So
yeah, basically. I mean, really, it's
you got to really love your Shonen Jump to really want to spend $260 on it.
They even have freaking Yu-Gi-Oh in here.
Yeah.
And Bleach. I mean, you're talking to the Jump. I mean, it says from the Jump universe, so that's huge. I might pick up the game just because it has all the characters and it's really cool to have in your collection. Especially me being a big Jump fan. Like I like all their stuff. Like I didn't know that I would like Bleach that much until I started watching it and got hooked.
No, there you go.
Anyways,
I heard One Piece is going to end soon.
Are they going to find all the pieces?
I don't know. I just saw that like the creator said, yeah, it'll end soon.
Jeez, it's like up to how many episodes is it at now?
I have no idea, like 900, 1,000, something like that.
I think it's in the thousands. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I got nothing else to say. I'm hyped for RE2. I'm hyped for Kingdom Hearts, but not as hyped as I am for RE2. That's what I'm going to be playing first, and I'm going to be playing it on the stream on Friday night next week. I'll be playing Claire, and of course Mike is working next weekend.
Yeah.
Shame. And he will be trying to stream. I'm going to try maybe tomorrow before we go to the movie. I'm going to try and get you set up with something that you want for your stream to look like. I don't know how you want to do it. I think I'm going to go minimalistic. I'm just going to use a green screen, put myself down in the corner. I'm not going to put anything else really on there. So
I might look at some like blood, some old school looking text for your character and stuff like that. I'll look at it and
we
see
got some overlays that
I don't really have any. I don't have Photoshop on here, so I don't.
No. But we can go to player.me for some overlays. There's some blood splatter overlay that we can look at and get you hooked up with that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right. So until next week, guys, we'll be back to our normal streaming day next week on Wednesday, and of course regular release schedule. Until next week, you can check us out all across the board: Facebook, Instagrams, and Twitters at Game Addicts Play. Of course, twitch.tv/Game facebook.com/GameAddictsPlay. We're there live each and every single week. And try to stay up to date with us, and we'll let you know when we're going to be live, if that changes like it did today. And of course, the audio version, like I said earlier, drops on Thursday on all our podcast services. You can search your own, search your favorite. We're probably there. If we're not, please let us know, and I will make it so.
Oh, by the way, for all you listeners, the next week, be prepared. We're going to talk a lot about Broly.
We will, and
a lot.
We will,
especially if it's really good.
Well, and then of course we're gonna put that at the end of the show, so that way we can talk about our gaming stuff first, and then we'll hit that last. That way we're not.
Get a disclaimer.
Yeah, of course, of course. The end of the show will be dedicated to our review of the Dragon Ball Super movie Broly. Until next week.
Tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. I can't wait.
Hey, you know what? And we're not. You're not going to come here and mess around at the house because we have to go to Five Guys.
Yeah, because we're probably going to work 10 hours tomorrow.
Yep. So we're going straight to Five Guys.
All right, then. That will be the way it is. Until next week, I've been Brando.
And I've been Mike.
We've been the Game Addicts Podcast. Please go play the Resident Evil demo. It was awesome. And
yes,
and then game on, because that's what we do. Damn it. Game on. See you guys next week. We'll see you later. Peace. Bye.